Not rest until that girl is dead. I'm still going to kill her tonight, no matter what.
Here is your court notice.
Who's the letter from?
Sagar just sent me a notice to get Krishna's custody.
Ganga.
Brought to you by
Hyundai or Hyundai. You can open a Sagicor Bank savings account from anywhere. Go online and open yours today.
The time by Sagicor Bank is
7 o'clock.
Tonight in CVM News at 7, more Jamaicans feeling unsafe according to latest crime perception survey. Education sector to experience major advances in tech. Bamboo River residents desperate for fix to bridge and drain issues. We also have Inspire Jamaica, and in sports, KC Hydel lead the standings on the final day at the Issa Grace Kennedy Boys and Girls Athletics Championships. From Kingston, Jamaica, this is CVM News at 7, the weekend edition. It's Saturday, March 29, 2025. I'm Ronaldo Adams. Thank you so much for joining us. Crime remains a major concern for Jamaicans, with many feeling less secure despite reports indicating a decline in criminal activities. A new survey reveals more Jamaicans have become victims of robbery, but national security stakeholders believe this data can help shape crime prevention strategies. Courtney Lewis has the details.
More Jamaicans are reported to feel less safe in their communities and fear they're more likely to be victims of crime, according to the 2023 National Crime Victimization Survey. Almost 90% of Jamaicans think crime increased island-wide in 2023, a noted contrast between data which suggests a decline in crime levels. While many continue to feel safe in their day-to-day environs, locations such as recreational spots and financial institutions don't feel as welcoming.
We recorded a decline in the perceived safety, with the greatest decline observed for banks. We found that 68.6% of respondents felt safe at a bank in 2023 compared to 80.9% in 2019. And also at the ATM on the corner on the street, where 47.2% of respondents indicated feeling safe compared to 56.3% in 2019.
The report also highlighted burglary and increased car theft since 2019. Extortion and bribery were among the highest personal crimes.
Again, bribery, bank and consumer fraud saw an increase in the victimization levels in 2023 when compared to 2019. All other crimes saw a decrease.
Stakeholders believe this data will assist in the development of the government's crime prevention strategies. The permanent secretary in the Ministry of National Security says the ministry has made significant strides, but a data-driven approach is necessary.
However, we are not going to be complacent, as there is a lot of work still to be done to achieve even further reductions. Therefore, the need for evidence-based policy making and holistic approaches to social problems has driven the demand for the Jamaica National Crime Victimization Survey.
Security Minister Horace Chang agreed, attributing the negative beliefs to increased gang violence and social issues. He recommends the swift control of gang activity as well as a shift in focus.
And then focus on the social programs, from Live Good, which is a social marketing tool, to the basic programs of getting the psychiatric counseling, the schools organized to deal with disruptive families, the question of abuse, child abuse, families who are in dire poverty, and Communities which are totally dysfunctional, we have to fix them. We can now do so in more confidence that the medium-term solution to our problem will be resolved.
Courtney Lewis for CVM News.
The Jamaica Constabulary Force is advising persons that messages circulating on social media detailing an alleged case of kidnapping in Ligani, St. Andrew are false. The leadership of the St. Andrew Central Division and the wider JCF leadership are assuring members of the public that the area is safe and persons are free to conduct their lawful business. The police are once again warning persons to be responsible in their discourse on social media sites and to be mindful of the negative impact one message can have. Making false statements that induce fear or anxiety among the general public goes beyond the line of free speech, and the persons may be arrested and charged for their actions. Members of the public are also being urged to, as far as possible, verify information before sharing and be skeptical of messages that are alarmist and inflammatory in nature. The police are also encouraging members of the public to remain conscious of their personal security and to take all reasonable steps to protect their safety. Residents of a St. Thomas community are expressing frustration over issues with access to the district as well as a drain. Adrian Williams tells their stories.
In Bamboo River, Morant Bay, St. Thomas, residents are perturbed with the poor maintenance of infrastructure in their community. This bridge structure worsens by the week, and not only is it bad for business, but one resident says that in the event of an emergency, there may be even greater consequences.
Fire department complaining about the bridge, and we get nothing done to it. We have a MP, we have councillors, and nothing, and me, and nothing. So we need something to be done, because if there's a fire breakout down here, hell broke loose, because we can't get no vehicle to come in to deal with that.
Another resident, Angela Johnson, is blaming the current Member of Parliament, Dr. Michelle Charles, who she believes has been ignoring the community.
This is not about a GLP or a PNP thing. Everybody just need help because we are one. We can't come out because right now you cannot go over the bridge and it broke down with you.
Right now.
Right
Ambulance
now.
Can't come.
Ambulance can't come. Fire truck can't come in. It's bad for we down here.
With garbage trucks hesitant to traverse the bridge, Johnson notes the health risk also compounds the problem, alongside a drainage system in dire need of cleaning.
Just have to clean. If it's not clean, mosquito everything. That's what it do. And the minister not looking.
Councillor for the Morant Bay Division, Rosemary Shaw, is urging that something be done swiftly.
We have over 2,000 residents living in this area, and it is affecting the residents in more than one ways. It is a health hazard, and it also poses a threat to life and property whenever it rains. There also needs to be a comprehensive drainage program along with maintenance.
While lauding the effort of St. Thomas-born entertainer Popcorn, who started an initiative to clean the drain, Shaw also questioned the input of Dr. Charles in the development of the community.
I'm appealing to the Member of Parliament, do not wait for NWA. What happened to the funding that you're getting as a Member of Parliament? You have the Constituency Development Fund and you have other funds. And just look at this community and protect the lives and property of these people.
Efforts to reach Dr. Charles were unsuccessful. Adrian Williams for CVM News.
Western Westmoreland Member of Parliament, Moreland Wilson, is calling on the National Water Commission to address inconsistent water supply in the constituency. The political representative says there is no structural damage to the water infrastructure, yet communities normally served by pumping stations have been left without supply.
We have seen where the government is now investing billions of dollars in the Western Resilience Water Supply Corridor, which will help and support the entire Western belt, not just Westmoreland or Westmoreland Western, but Montego Bay and Trelawney is included. But right now, the situation that we have at hand is communities that are generally served by these pumping stations are without water. And there's no issues at the pumping station. There's no reports of issues. So who or what exactly is affecting the distribution of the water? Why are certain communities being locked up or being disconnected or whatever you want to call it? Them just not get no water. My question to NWC and to those who are working in the water supply system, how comes? What exactly is happening? The MP is being blamed. The MP is the one, the first protocol when there is no water. And I have been trucking water. So on social media is everywhere. However, this should not be the case because we don't have any disturbance in our water supply production system. So what is happening in the distribution system? So I'm using this medium to call on NWC to find out what exactly is happening with the distribution of our water supply system.
Artificial intelligence is no longer just a futuristic concept. It's now a tool in the Jamaican classroom. A new pilot program is leveraging AI to support teachers as part of the government's broader education transformation strategy. The Education Minister, Dr. Dana Morris-Dixon, announced the latest advancements in the Senate on Friday. Courtney Lewis has the details.
Artificial intelligence is taking its seat in the classroom as a new pilot program to help teachers is in effect. This comes as the government seeks to build 6 new equal access STEM schools.
I was a teacher once, and I remember how long I used to have to mark work, and that was the worst part of being a teacher is marking the papers. And now you don't have to do that. We're actually piloting this with some of our schools to see how it works. And the interesting thing is that we, at the ministry, we can actually see the results real time. So as it marks it, we can see how the schools are doing.
It's part of the government's plan to boost efficiency and prepare students for the global workforce. Education Minister Dr. Dana Morris-Dixon says Jamaica's youth are already embracing the tools, and the new AI lab is intended to further empower the students.
We will also be producing, and during this year, the first state-of-the-art AI lab in Jamaica. Many countries are just dreaming of that. And this is, we're partnering with the Amber Group, where developers, researchers, and students can create Jamaican-led AI solutions. And every time there's an AI hackathon, I get happy, because our young people are already using open source AI to do fantastic things.
The ministry is also partnering with the Heart NSTA to further enhance students' use of AI technologies.
We're about to introduce a prompt engineering course. That's like one of the most important courses in AI going forward. And this course will train students and public servants in AI tools to give our workforce an opportunity to equip itself to be able to use AI and to leverage AI and work smarter.
Transformation is also taking place in the management of schools. As the minister notes, more systems are going digital. Attendance, grades, and meal records can be accessed digitally, with a new solution targeting truancy also underway.
The Prime Minister spoke about truancy being a problem with students missing school. This will help us a lot because you will be able to trigger alerts when a student is missing for more than a particular number of days so that you can have the interventions. And us at the ministry, we can see whether or not these interventions are taking place.
Courtney Lewis for CVM News.
CVM News at 7 continues in just a moment.
Ministry of Economic Growth and Job Creation and its agencies are leading the way. McJC Matrix is back for Season 2, bringing you the latest on the projects shaping our nation's future. Big changes, bold moves. This is the Season 2 of the McJC Matrix, driving development, transforming lives.
10, 9, 8, 7. CVM TV, in association with Express Fitness and Exodus Carnival, presents Fit for Fet, the ultimate workout series to get your body ready for the road. Tune in 5 a.m. every morning, Mondays to Fridays, starting April 7th, to get involved in high-impact workouts by some of the best in the game. Bring your mats, bring your water, and let's get fit for the fit with Express Fitness and Exodus Carnival, powered by CVM TV.
Welcome back. The tourism sector is lauding the results of its labor as it continues to invest in local and international products. These successes have been attributed to the sector's continued implementation of initiatives. But with added growth come added challenges. Trisha Kelly has this story.
Industry buzzes that Jamaica's tourism sector continues to improve through its various programs and initiatives. These initiatives include the Tourism Linkages Network, which is to increase the consumption of goods and services that can be competitively sourced locally. State Minister for Tourism, Senator Delano Sivright, says the government has made significant progress with the program.
This is not just a program. It's a mission to simplify and strengthen the connection between tourism and key sectors like agriculture and manufacturing. But we don't need to overcomplicate the idea of linkages. At its core, it's about creating sustainable, profitable connections between businesses so the entire sector becomes stronger, more resilient, and creates jobs and opportunities.
But he adds there's even more that the tourism sector is looking to do for the country.
We must enhance focus on sports tourism, cultural tourism, agritourism, and other projects and programs that create linkages that will enable more Jamaicans to participate in and benefit from the tourism economy.
On that point, he notes that business has been booming in the various industries. In agritourism specifically, some 4.35 million kilograms of produce was sold overseas, reaping approximately 450 million Jamaican dollars. The fast-paced growth of the industry, however, is posing challenges.
We're adding rooms, we're attracting visitors faster than our supply chains, faster than our infrastructure can keep up, and the workforce right now we're challenged as it relates to labor in the tourism space. I mean, just driving from Montego Bay to Negril is an adventure these days because infrastructure is just not catching up to what's happening. And we're adding thousands of rooms on that corridor. So this gap is not just a challenge, it's a risk to our competitiveness. And it must be addressed with urgency.
Nevertheless, the State Minister is urging all interested stakeholders to get serious and establish their presence at the decision tables. Trisha Kelly, CVM News.
Now to regional and international news.
We begin with news in the region. The resource-rich Essequibo region remains disputed between Guyana and Venezuela, with tensions escalating since the discovery of oil. Venezuela plans to hold elections in the area next month, a move Guyana calls a sovereignty violation and has challenged at the International Court of Justice. We hear more from Al Jazeera.
This is the Essequibo region in western Guyana, 159,000 square kilometers filled with vast natural resources. It is also subject to a long territorial dispute between Guyana and Venezuela.
Here we refer to
Colin Henry is part of the St. Ignatius Amerindian community. He is concerned about Venezuelan claims over the land.
I firmly believe it belongs to Guyana, right? But after oil would have been discovered, is then you find, to me, is when Venezuela got so interested in trying to occupy the Essequibo, right?
Henry used to live close to the border with Venezuela, but left when the United Kingdom sent a warship to Guyana 2 years ago. The dispute dates back to 1899 when an international tribunal ruled in favor of British Guyana. But in 1962, Venezuela rejected the ruling. Now it wants to take it a step further.
Prime Minister Mia Mottley expressed concern about the impact a U.S.-imposed levy on Chinese ships will have on Barbados and CARICOM. Prime Minister Mottley, who is also the chair of CARICOM, has revealed she has written a letter to President Donald Trump asking that CARICOM be exempt from the levy. More from CBC News, Barbados.
Florida, in a very real sense, is the engine of commerce of the Caribbean region. Caribbean depends on much 7-day supply of food, 7-day supply of vegetables, of critical supplies, of pieces of equipment, spare parts, all kinds of things. And that to have this disrupted purely because of the intervention of a statutory or an executive order that will lead to increased costs of supply will hurt not just us on the receiving end, but will hurt those as well who are making money from the logistics in Florida to be able to make the transition. Because the cost per container, TEU, 20-foot container or equivalent, can go, we believe, anywhere between $1,500 to $2,000 US, and for 40-foot container up to at least $4,000 US. It is also, by the way, assessed on exports.
And in international news, more than 1,000 people have been killed in Myanmar and thousands more injured following a 7.7 magnitude earthquake that was also felt in neighboring countries. The BBC reports.
Monks cower as a building collapses in Mandalay, Myanmar's second largest city. Shock and fear as a pagoda on a Buddhist temple topples down. This is the effect of a 7.7 magnitude earthquake. Mandalay, 10 miles from the epicenter, is home to 1.5 million people. Infrastructure all over the country has been hit hard. Areas of the country are cut off, with roads concertinaed and cracked. 150 miles further south in the capital city of Naypyidaw, rows of injured people line the street outside a hospital. The authorities have appealed for blood donations.
And that's it for regional and international news.
Imagine a baby's risks if food and liquid enter the lungs instead of the stomach because of a congenital condition. Thankfully, there are corrective procedures. However, also imagine several attempts to remedy this abnormality locally. You are engaged in overseas intervention but cannot secure cooperation on consultation. Such is the worrisome position of the parents of a child we introduced to you before on Inspire Jamaica.
Reach out and touch somebody's hand. Make this world a better place if you can.
I want to eat. I want yogurt.
Of all the cartoons baby Azora Richardson loves is one you could call the perfect mouth-watering tease. At 18 months old, she's still too young to digest it all.
The last time we spoke, Azora was 3 months old. She was admitted at the Bustamante Hospital for Children on Ward 2. She was diagnosed with TEF, that's tracheoesophageal fistula type C, where the upper portion of the esophagus has a blind port and the lower portion is connected to the trachea, which is an abnormal connection.
In other words, this little girl does not feed through her mouth, and doctors have been trying to correct this abnormality.
She did the first surgery on day 3 after birth to do the connection. However, it was unsuccessful. They placed a gastrostomy tube to her directly in her stomach, where she has been getting feeds through, and after that she went to surgery again to get a stoma at her neck in order for her not to choke on her secretion. So this is a stoma at her neck where her saliva come through. After that, they tried again the third time to do the connection with the esophagus and her stomach, which was last year March. However, they told us, the parents, that it was successful, and dilation of the esophagus was supposed to be started at 6 weeks after the surgery. She was there up until June. That would be about 2.5 months to 3 months after the surgery. There was a lot of delays, and that was when they tried to dilate the esophagus. But when they went and tried, they couldn't dilate the esophagus, so everything was back to square one.
With heavy hearts, a tough decision was made regarding a fourth surgery.
I said no. I think it is best for us to wait until, she grow a bit and give her some time to recuperate from the surgeries that she has gone through in less than a year.
She's now home, but all is not comfortable.
She is, engaged in her learning activities, singing her alphabet songs and playing. Azora has an older sibling. Her brother, he enjoys playing with her, and at times he would be like, when would she be able to eat through her mouth? And even us, her parents, we would love for Azora to be able to eat and live a normal life.
The hiccups have been many.
The tube would burst and it would just come out of her stomach, feeds just start pouring out. Sometimes the syringe that is in the tube to keep the feeds down would come out at times, and at times she's in so much discomfort.
There's an option on the table to seek help overseas, but there's a big hurdle. The PD surgeon she says she had discussions with no longer works at the hospital locally, and the international requirement in Tennessee is for a referral and a medical report.
I had to pay a fee of $6,000 to get the medical report. When I got the envelope, I realized it was just a medical report. So I am now currently trying to seek the referral from them, which basically I'm getting the understanding that because they're not the ones that is referring us to the hospital overseas to seek better medical assistance for our child, they are not able to write us a referral.
What's to do now?
We, her father and I, we would love for her to be able to live more comfortable and be able to get a better and a normal life.
Reach out and touch somebody's hand. Make this world a better place if you can.
Guess what? I'll also have your sports after this break.
We are back for season 2 of Corner Office. We are highlighting small businesses, hard-working Jamaicans who are doing their own thing in their own spaces. People who are in their role, bossing up their role.
Let's go!
Let's get it! It's not if you own the company or not, it's how you own the role. Ice cream is coming. Guess what? It is your Corner Office. Season 2, bigger and better. And guess what? You don't think it's not yet? Check it out. We're there in the place. Undercover. Easy yourself.
Hey you know all the people in your business?
You should take advantage of CVM TV's unbeatable small business advertising package. Trust me.
And get your goods and services in front of your customers today.
For $150,000, you get a high-quality professional commercial, plus 20 prime-time commercial spots.
That's massive exposure at a fraction of the cost.
Including on the #1 morning show in Jamaica, Sunrise.
So don't wait. Call us on 658-208-5377 and see your business goals happen right here on CVM Television.
Where the difference is made, where titles are decided.